ball-oriented ball, being dominant, 15 points, 9 rebounds a game. So how will Seattle contend with her today? They don't quite have the physical matchup that they had previously. Ezzy Magbagor knows her very well. They are both Olympians on the Australian Olympic team. We'll see how they body her in the paint today.
Absolutely, Holly. Liz Cambage had a big smile, perfectly timed for television, and so did Holly Rowe, back courtside and maskless, ready for what should be an outstanding game here between the Aces and the Storm. Third and final meeting of the regular season between these teams, and Williams able to bury the three after the deflection, and a good start for the Aces.
You saw the attention that Liz Cambage was getting inside. 3 players, 3 defenders around her.
Lloyd unable to hit. Mercedes Russell keeps it alive. Nice find to the cutting Katie Lou Samuelson amongst the trees, looking for help, and that's going to be a jump ball, as Liz Cambage will have a decisive height advantage over Katie Lou in this jump.
Who wants to see Liz win this match?
They have a very conversational flow with the PA in Vegas at their games. You'll notice it throughout. I'm sure some of you caught it right there. It's a little bit of like a new age public address system during the game as Cambage can't finish.
Mercedes Russell has good size and good length. A very smart defender. Will battle Liz inside, try to make her catch her a little less deep than she would like.
Stewart was given some space and took advantage. Brianna Stewart was just incredible in the finals last year against Vegas. 28 points on 63% shooting per game. Also shot it at 65% from 3 in that series.
Vegas is going to need to be careful when they set the on-ball screen on the sideline, because Seattle is so good at trapping that.
Seattle coming off a loss against DC. Vegas a loss against Minnesota, and it'll be a turnover here from the Aces.
And that time you saw Mercedes Russell did her job. She made Cambage catch it a little farther away from the basket. Bill Lambier would like to see her catch it right on the block where she can simply turn and score.
Well, keep in mind, Mercedes Russell did not play in the last meeting against Las Vegas for the Seattle Storm. She was still coming back from overseas obligations. So this is a new matchup for Liz Cambage against Seattle. I talked to Mercedes, and she said, I have to keep her off the block, make it tough when she finishes. But on that last possession where Cambage traveled, you saw her push her clear off the lane.
It's a great point, Holly. And we've already seen Russell with a couple of offensive rebounds here. Oh, what a find! Lloyd with a beautiful dime to the cutting Katie Lou Samuelson. And now a steal from Seattle. Lloyd setting up Stewart, zipping inside for the finish.
Last 2 possessions for Seattle. Jewel Lloyd with 2 assists. That's one area I feel like her game has really grown. She's always been a terrific scorer. She's taken another step in finding open teammates, coming off a game where she had 9 assists.
Jewel Lloyd, a member of Team USA, along with Sue Bird and Brianna Stewart, all representing the Storm, as Bird can't hit the 3. Russell nearly tracked another offensive rebound. Chelsea Gray, Asia Wilson will represent Team USA as members of the Aces. A lot of Olympians in today's game. Liz Cambage, a star for Australia, as Young hits the jumper.
Jackie Young, when Vegas beat Seattle in the second game of the season, did that really well. She got to her mid-range. She got to the free throw line. So important to Vegas offensively.
Lloyd nearly flipped that in on the reverse side. A 6-5 start for Seattle. These two teams split the first 2 games of the season in Seattle. Storm winning the first, Vegas the second. Wilson hits the jumper. First field goal of the game for the reigning MVP.
When she gets the ball on the left side of the floor and there's a clear out, it's just an almost automatic 2 for Asia Wilson.
Bird around the screen from Russell, lost it. Wanted a kick ball, didn't get it. Instead, here come the Aces. Gray weaving through the lane, had it knocked from behind by Bird, and it last hit Seattle. It's going to be Aces basketball.
You see, Katie Lou Samuelson comes with a little help. Sue Bird comes with a dig. It doesn't matter. On the left side of the floor, that's Asia Wilson's territory.
Young, another mid-range, too strong, and the rebound taken in by Ezzy Magbagor. Out there replacing Russell as Cambage went to the bench for Vegas. The Erica Hamby in now for the Aces. Lloyd hooks a pass to Magbagor, couldn't handle it. Here comes Gray, her first year with Las Vegas. Gray, nice hesitation, stopped on a dime. Wilson connects.
That red area of the floor, the key, that's Asia Wilson's area, especially at the free throw line, the elbow area, so good.
Stewart way too strong on that three-point attempt. Brianna Stewart's ability to hit threes was one of the main concerns from Bill Lambier. Also, her ability to put fouls on Vegas's interior players. Quanta Williams can't hit the three. Nice box out there from Magbagor. Stewart can't handle, a little too far from Lloyd. And Seattle turns it over, a 6-0 run from Vegas and a 9-6 early lead on ESPN.
ESPN's coverage of the WNBA is presented by Google.
A WNBA 25. Count it.
Well, if you're noticing the beautiful shoes on the Seattle Storm today, it is the Force for Change Kicks for a Cause game. Every player has worked with an artist based out of Atlanta, a black-owned business called Locker Room, and they have designed these gorgeous shoes, whether it's the Good Fight, Getting into Good Trouble of Sue Bird. Obviously, it is a pride game. All of the great causes that these players are passionate about in the WNBA. Locker Room out of Atlanta, Kayla and Britt, wonderful job on the artwork. They even hooked me up with the pair, guys, and those shoes can be auctioned off on seattlestorm.com. That will all go to the Urban Justice League, a black-owned company that will be supporting initiatives like support of education and jobs in the Seattle area.
Stewart turnaround jumper is good. Now everybody in the audience has to root for the same thing right now, okay? And that's a stoppage so that we could see Holly Rowe's shoes that she got. Oh, see? A foul is called. But here's the stoppage we needed to see. Holly, how about those kicks?
I mean, those are clean. Even Sue Bird said they were super cute, so I think that's a pretty good compliment. The Air Maxes. Auction off and buy mine because mine are 8.5. Mine might be the only real size that people could really wear, you know. Some of these others are bigger, so check them out. Really cute shoes and always for a good cause. The Urban League of Metropolitan Seattle.
My 10-year-old couldn't fit in Holly's shoes because her feet are too big.
Really, really cool stuff and just some amazing designs we're seeing out there on the floor. And we know the WNBA is always at the top of its game when it comes to fashion and certainly when it comes to important messaging.
Seattle right now really struggling, only shooting 36%. They have 5 turnovers. Vegas has done a really good job. That last possession, you saw them completely clogging up the paint.
And that's rare for Seattle, Rebecca. They come into this game second in the league in offensive turnover percentage, first when it comes to total turnovers per game at just the 12 per. Stewart can't hit the turnaround. Nice job by Magbagor to claw the rebound. Give Seattle another chance here.
And that time, that was a really good look by Stewart inside the paint. Now she's here, 0 for 6 to start the game from 3, Seattle.
And Stewart 0 for 3. Hamby able to get control of it. Gray, the rainbow 3, won't go. And Katie Lou Samuelson nearly had that rebound plucked away by Hamby. Stewart this time going to drive it. The leaner is good, banking it home. Blum drives in, can't finish. Kelsey Plum been very hot of late, got off to a slow start this season, but over her last 4 averaging nearly 20 points per. Stewart connects on that 3, her first to drop this afternoon.
She didn't care that she started out a little bit cold from 3.
9 field goal attempts in this first quarter for Brianna Stewart. She has 11 points, a 3-point Seattle lead. Wilson too strong, Stewart flags it down. Here comes Lloyd, having just a terrific season. Nice D there from Plum, and it's going to stay here with Seattle.
Kelsey Plum has just played so well, and not only her ability to score, which has been tremendous, but she really has done a great job of pushing pace when she comes in off the bench.
You see Noelle Quinn in her first season as Storm head coach, taking over for Dan Hughes in late May 30th, announced as the head coach. Nice movement on the offensive end, and Dupree lays it in. A 7-0 Seattle run. It was great talking with Noelle Quinn before the game about all the different things having to adjust to now in the main chair as head coach of this team. Saying, you know, there used to be a primary focus for her on the offense. Now it's okay. It's offense, it's defense, it's timeouts, it's officials. Now when I come into practice, I know I have to be the first person to address the team. But finding greater and greater comfort as she goes through the process.
And the challenge too, Ryan, I mean, she was a teammate of many of these women in 2018 when they won a championship. So for the rest of the players to have somebody go from your teammate to a coach is just an interesting adjustment.
Aces will retain possession with 14 on the shot clock.
Noelle Quinn, you could see playing against Candice Dupree, playing with Brianna Stewart and Sue Bird. Won a championship in 2018 as a player. An assistant last year on Gary Kloppenberg's staff, with Dan Hughes sitting out the season last year on that championship team.
Chelsea Gray at the line, 2 shots.
We were talking to her before the game, Ryan, and she said, you know, about Jewel Lloyd and how well Jewel Lloyd has been playing, and Noelle said, I take particular pride in that. We used to, when I was playing here, we had lockers next to one another, and I would talk to her when she was down, and I would celebrate her when things were going well. And so just an interesting transformation of the relationship from sitting next to her in the locker room to now coaching her.
An incredible journey, and one thing she pointed out that Sue Bird was talking to me about as well, as Lloyd can't hit the jumper there, was just the work that Jewel Lloyd has put in. Just an incredible worker, and the confidence she now has in her game all around as Canada hits the jumper. Consistency was something that people always clamored for from Lloyd, and something Noelle Quinn pointed out to us as well. And she said, look, she just totally has it now and has become a force on the defensive end for this Storm team as well.
Always known as an offensive player, but now she's the complete package.
Talbot lays it in. It's a 19-12 Seattle lead. An extended 13-3 run from the Storm as Hamby gets free for the layup. The 2-time 6th Woman of the Year. Lloyd wide open, can't hit the 3. Seattle just 1 of 8 from downtown in this opening quarter. Good hands there by Canada. Picks it away and zips down the floor for 2. You see why Canada has been an all-defensive team player in this league. Plum with a hand in her face, sticks the jumper.
That's what she's done so well for Vegas recently, is her ability to pull up and hit those from the free throw line area.
Shot clock is turned off. Seattle can hold for a final shot here. Lloyd, 2 seconds left. Dupree, will she get it off? She does not. Took a little too much time there, and that'll do it for the first quarter. A 5-point Seattle lead after one.
We knew we were going to see it from the superstars. A'ja Wilson, that's her area of the floor. Breanna Stewart's got a lot of them, including 3.
Welcome back to ESPN and WNBA presented by Google, here with Breanna Stewart of the Seattle Storm. And you guys have been so good on the road, undefeated this season. What's the key to this energy that you come out with a big lead here?
I think just taking pride in every time we come to someone else's home court, it's going to be tough. We have a lot of maturity on this team, where over the years it hasn't really been that way. And just knowing that we have to come in and take care of business.
I was shocked before the game when you told me you don't think you're even playing that great right now. What are the keys to you being consistent? You're having a great first quarter.
I think just continuing to be aggressive, continuing to kind of let the game come to me, but also do the little things.
Thank you so much.
Well, A'ja Wilson got free for the layup to begin the second quarter off. Yet another Seattle turnover. Already 7 in the game for the normally protective of the basketball Storm. What are you giggling at, Rebecca?
The normally protective of the basketball Storm. But you're right, Ryan. This is a Seattle team that is first in the WNBA, averaging only 12 turnovers per game. And it's been a little sloppier than we expected.
And even we just saw another Vegas turnover, even for the Aces. 5 turnovers from the Aces, 8 now from Seattle. These two teams are the top 2 in the league when it comes to protecting the basketball.
Yeah.
Vegas is number 1 in turnover percentage. Seattle's number 2, and then if you do the raw numbers, they flip 1 and 2 just because Seattle plays at a faster pace. As that 3 drops in for Talbot, who has shot it at better than 50% now on the year from downtown. Vegas plays at the faster pace. Plum can't hit the 3. Russell the rebound. Bird, Russell, Dupree, Talbot, and Prince the 5 for the Storm. Wilson, Cambage, Williams, Hamby, and Plum on the floor for the Aces. Wilson can't finish. The loose ball, and the putback won't go. Another chance. Wilson still can't get it to drop, and finally, Seattle secures the rebound. They out-rebounded Vegas 17-6 in that first quarter as Bird gets it to rattle in. It'll be a long 2 for Sue Bird. Sue Bird and Diana Taurasi will be aiming for their 5th gold medal at the Olympics in Tokyo.
So interesting to me just watching the contrast in styles of these two teams. You know, Seattle plays such a spread out brand of basketball where the paint is wide open, and every time Vegas comes down, they're looking to get it inside, and then a double or triple team comes here. High, low, 3 defenders in the paint. Cambage still able to finish. Completely different looks for these teams offensively.
Vegas does so much damage in the paint, leading the league in that category, as well as in the free throw line, number 1 in the league. Seattle, the best 3-point shooting team in the WNBA. Prince, good movement here. Bird, oh, how about the passing from the Storm? Bird puts it up, nearly banked it in, got fouled, and will head to the line. We'll see if they give her 3 free throws.
Liz Cambage, the battle when you defend her is to not let her catch it too close to the basket. Russell trying to 3-quarter front her, but such a good pass from Wilson in the high-low. Cambage, patient, just flips it up over the front of the rim.
Holly talked about her off the top of the broadcast. Bill Lambier just so pleased with Liz Cambage and the team basketball she's been playing. The fit with her and this Vegas team. As Burt hits both free throws. An 8-point Seattle lead after that possession of incredible ball movement. Those free throws, the first of the game, taken by the Storm. Here is Plum. Step back three, off the mark. Rebound flag down by Epiphany Prince. Prince, the down court feed. Stewart just put her dribble down to avoid the up and down.
Look at the spacing Seattle has offensively. Everybody outside the three-point line until Russell rolls inside.
Russell bodying in, couldn't force in the hook, and Hamby springs away with it. Cambage and Gray, two starters resting at the moment for the Aces. Wilson gets denied by Russell. She can't flag it down. It'll stay with Las Vegas.
Last year in the finals, Ryan, Mercedes Russell did a really nice job when she was the primary defender on Asia Wilson, and that matchup has happened here a few times as well, and she's done a good job with it.
Wilson too strong. An 8-point Seattle lead. Holly talked about it with Brianna Stewart. They are undefeated on the road this season, the Storm. And a travel there from Burke. That's going to be the 9th Seattle turnover in this opening half. Bill Lambier is going to take a timeout. Bring in his troops. 6:02 to go in the second quarter. Seattle 28, Las Vegas 20 in a big-time matchup. Well, Team USA officially announced for the Tokyo Olympics. You see the backcourt, Ariel Atkins first, along with Skylar Diggett-Smith, Chelsea Gray, Jewel Lloyd all in their first, Sue Bird and Diana Taurasi in their 5th Olympics. The front court, a mix of a little more experience, Tina Charles, Nafisa Collier. You saw the rest as well. Just incredible seeing these women in their first Olympics, and then players like Sue Bird and Diana Taurasi going back for a 5th. And today is the last day to vote in your WNBA All-Stars for the 2021 AT&T WNBA All-Star Game. It's another 2-for-1 day, so head on over to WNBA.com/vote or download the new WNBA app to have your vote counted twice before the voting period ends tonight. The top vote getters will face off against Team USA in the All-Star Game on Wednesday, July 14th. We'll be in Vegas to broadcast that. Cannot wait.
That's going to be such a great game. I love the years when it's the Olympic team against the other All-Stars.
Angel McCautry will be part of our coverage that day. She is a key piece, injured for Las Vegas, who is out for the season after getting injured during the preseason. Can't wait for her to be a part of our broadcast team. And Rebecca, we were talking about all the different Olympians in this game. As you see Angel on the sidelines for this one. We have several members of Team USA. We talked about Liz Cambage, who will be a member of Team Australia. Jisoo Park, who is a member of South Korea's national team and will compete in the Olympics. And then Kelsey Plum, who will be playing in the 3-on-3 tournament in the Olympics for Team USA. So many Olympians on the floor in this matchup between the top 2 records in the WNBA. Katie Lou Samuelson, of course, also a member of that 3-on-3 Team USA team. There are Olympians hiding in all corners and crevices of this game.
Everywhere, Ryan.
Oh, nice seal there from Katie Lou Samuelson and a great find from Stewart.
Yeah, smart. She had the size advantage, so a simple cut into the paint to post up. Nice finish.
Raquana Williams, Bill Lambier was raving to us about what Williams has brought from the three-point line for his team, as well as what she's brought on the defensive end. 2 for 3 from 3 today, and an element that's much needed for this Vegas team. Lloyd will catch and fire and hit. Jewel Lloyd with her first field goal of the game.
Seattle runs the same play, but on the other side of the floor to get Katie Lou posting up. This time help came, and she made the nice pass out. If it works, go back to it.
Cambage, guarded by Russell. Young trying to shake Bird. Got it to go, plus the foul. A chance for 3 for Jackie Young.
Sue Bird frustrated. She had to help down a little bit when Cambage got the ball inside, but she recovers. Young with the dribble. There's a foul there? I can see why Sue's a little bit frustrated.
Maybe tapped her on the arm, perhaps?
Perhaps.
Let's get loud for Aces defense.
Here's Lloyd. The hesitation, probing, and dished it out of bounds. 10th turnover of the half for Seattle.
And so many have been sloppy. Like, that was just a sloppy turnover. Earlier on, we saw travel, just a sloppy turnover. You know, you can deal with it when you're trying to make a high-low pass or when it's really good defense, but many of them have been just uncharacteristic sloppiness offensively.
And Vegas has had their fair share as well. We see it there. And then Wilson able to save it as Seattle turns it right back over. Down the other end, Young's mid-range is good. "11 Seattle turnovers, 7 from Las Vegas." Here is Bird getting it back, firing, and hitting from 3. Sue Bird's second most threes in WNBA history, only Diana Taurasi with more.
Simple action, just pass it to Russell, get it back. Simple action, but hard to defend.
Cambage, one-on-one with Russell. Help comes, back to Wilson. Wilson goes right around Stewart for 2.
Earlier we saw the high-low from Wilson to Cambage. There we saw the low-high.
Lloyd looking for some help. Finds it in Stewart. Stewart has 12 points, the only scorer in double figures thus far. And a foul called against Jackie Young. That'll be her first. And a timeout on the floor.
Get the ball inside to the big, double, go to the other big up top. Pretty stuff.
To think that I'll be back with Coach Staley now, it's truly amazing. Like, I honestly remember being in college, and when she was named head coach of the team, I just started crying. Like, I just could not hold back the tears because I was just so proud of Coach Staley and to be a player of hers. So to now be alongside of her in Japan, it's definitely going to be a big honor for me just to play underneath her again in this sense, because this is the huge stage, the biggest stage of them all.
Coach Staley and Asia Wilson clearly have such a special relationship. Had it while she played for her at South Carolina, continues now, and you know it's unique to be able to play for your college coach again. So she has to be thrilled to have that opportunity, not only to be in the Olympics, but to share that experience with her college coach, with who she's so close.
And speaking of close, we've told you about that Asia had a beautiful statue erected of her on the South Carolina campus this year. Well, Dawn Staley was one of 3 major donors to get that statue done. So the respect goes both ways. It's an impactful relationship, but more importantly, it's showing 2 beautiful, strong Black women and all that they are accomplishing in their basketball careers.
Can I also say, Rebecca, I'm excited to see South Carolina again this season when we get back to our college games after the thriller they had against Stanford in an unforgettable Final Four matchup.
Aaliyah Boston won a gold medal with the USA basketball team, one of the youth teams, just a couple of weeks ago.
South Carolina returning a whole bunch of stars.
Well, guys, I'm going to drop it on national TV right now. I actually just went to St. Thomas and spent several days on the island with Aaliyah Boston and her beautiful family, Mom Cleone. And we're going to have a beautiful feature on Aaliyah Boston coming this basketball season, so I can't wait. You're hearing it first here. Insider scoop.
Very nicely done, Holly. Good putback there from Gray. Cuts it to 3. 37-34. This is a big game. Whoever wins this has the tiebreaker for two teams that could very well be competing for that top seed at the end of the regular season. Wow, gorgeous set here and a finish from Russell.
Last few minutes, we've seen Chelsea Gray come alive a bit offensively for Vegas. And Bill Lambier told us one of the areas he wants to see her improve is calling her own number more.
Russell, and she traveled before what was likely to be a charge. And so turnover number 13 from Seattle. Hey, coming up on the WNBA Halftime Report presented by State Farm with LaChina Robinson and Andrea Carter. The sun scorched the sky, ending Chicago's winning streak. Lasia Clarendon's courageous journey. That's all coming up on the State Farm Halftime. They scored a big 20 points in a victory against Vegas in the Aces last game. Sylvia Fowles had 30 in that game as Williams buries the 3. Her third 3 of the half.
She's been terrific. She's been absolutely terrific. She's their main three-point threat for a team that does not take many.
Katie Lou couldn't grab it and knocked out of bounds. And it is Aces basketball. Lloyd went with a quick pull there on a 2-for-1. Vegas now with a 2-for-1 opportunity themselves if they hurry. They do not. Lob inside. Wilson fights. Can't finish. Cambage blew the bunny. Stewart the rebound. And now Seattle can hold for a final shot. 9 turnovers in the half from Vegas, 13 from Seattle. Totally uncharacteristic. And a foul here from Gray. Vegas had one to give.
Sue's feisty today, Ryan.
You're saying something about something not being right.
She's been feisty all half.
Seattle going to take a timeout here. Set up a final play with 4.8 to go. Taking a look at the upcoming WNBA national TV schedule. Tuesday at 7 Eastern on ESPN2. Connecticut will face Washington. Then Wednesday on CBS Sportsnet, a doubleheader with Chicago and Dallas, Minnesota and Phoenix. For more on these games, please go to WNBA.com or visit the WNBA app. 4.8 to go in the first half. Out of the timeout, Bird patiently waiting. Sets up Katie Lou on a 3. She got it at the buzzer. A well-executed play out of the timeout to finish the half for the defending champs.
A play when you know exactly how much time is left. Jewel Lloyd, the decoy. Katie Lou draining it.
Getting ready for the start of second half action between the Las Vegas Aces and the Seattle Storm. A tightly played opening half between the teams. With the top 2 records in the WNBA, the Storm a 5-point lead as we get ready to start the third quarter. And welcome you back inside our homes. Ryan Rucco along with the Hall of Famer Rebecca Lobo. Rebecca, the first times these teams met, first 2 games of the season, Seattle did not have Mercedes Russell. They do have her today. She's making a big difference on the defensive end. It's time for today's Elevated Moments, brought to you by American Express.
Yeah, Russell with only 2 points, but she has certainly been impactful defensively. 6'6". She has made things difficult for both Liz Cambage and Asia Wilson. She's had it Done a nice job pushing Cambage off the block, gets her to travel there. And even when Wilson's got into her sweet spot, 6'6" and long, Russell able to block that shot. They've combined for only 5 of 16 so far today.
Let's check in with Holly Rowe in Vegas.
Well, guys, you're talking about that inside physical presence for Seattle, and it has been an issue. Liz Cambage and Asia Wilson combining for just 10 points and 6 rebounds in that first half. They have got to become more dominant, particularly on the glass, where they were out-rebounded by 9. And there it is, an early feed to establish Cambage down low. They've got to have more of that early and often to get back in this game.
And that's where we did see them have success in the first half, was when one was passing to the other.
And we talked with Noelle Quinn, the head coach of Seattle, before the game. She said, I wrote rebound in red on the board. Just such a key for our team when we're playing well, especially against Vegas. And as Holly pointed out, in that first half, Seattle was a +9 on the glass against Las Vegas. Here's Bird, who's given space, instead sets up Stewart. Stewart on the attack, lays it in.
It's just so long. Her arms are so long at 6'4". When she gets by, easily able to finish over Cambage.
Young trying to set up Wilson on the block. Guarded by Stewart. Wilson dips around, just banked it up too strong. Here comes Lloyd around the double screen. Bird will fire. Can't hit. Rebound Young on the weak side. Wilson gets gobbled up inside by Stewart. Katie Lou running the break with Stewart, who gets fouled by Gray. And free throws coming for Brianna Stewart.
Brianna Stewart is so long. She's got a 7'1" wingspan, gets a step on Wilson, goes against Cambage, who's second in the W in blocks per game, still able to finish over. And Ryan, how about this last play? She gets this block, and then she beat everybody down the floor to get the ball back, and it ended up in free throws, or should end up in free throws.
Yeah, it seemed like it, but they're going to call it a side out of bounds, and you could see some mystified looks on Storm faces, feeling that should have absolutely been free throws. Nonetheless, Stewart says, okay, I'll take the bucket instead.
As easy as free throws for her.
16 for Stewart. Was 5 of 9 in the first quarter. Didn't have a field goal attempt in the second, and now is 2 for 3 to begin the third as Bird fouls Young, and Jackie Young is going to shoot a pair. Second foul on Sue Bird, the league's all-time leader in games played.
And this is the part of the game that's so important to Vegas. It's getting to the free throw line. They lead the league in free throws attempted per game. Seattle's done a good job so far in this game, not letting them make their living there. Only 6 free throw attempts so far for Vegas.
And that was a key from Noelle Quinn as well as Sue Bird, saying we cannot have silly fouls that put Vegas at the line. They may have used a different word than silly, but that's just the route I wanted to go with it, as Vegas is called for the foul here.
Foul on the Aces, number 12, Chelsea Gray, her third personal.
Third foul on Chelsea Gray.
See, Ryan, there's talking about yourself in the third person, and then there's talking about yourself would be in the third number. Did you hear Chelsea Gray? 12? Are you kidding? We got to come up with a name for that.
If you start saying, hey, that foul wasn't on 12. Stewart out of the double, back to Lloyd. Great ball fake, can't finish. Stewart flies in, pats it out of bounds, and it's Vegas basketball.
Jewel Lloyd has been quiet so far in this game, only 1 for 9, but we've seen her time and again and have a quiet start, but you can't sleep on her. She can come alive quickly.
Here's Williams. Tried the pocket pass, couldn't slip it into Hamby. Magbagor on the steal, speeding up the floor with a gorgeous delivery to Lloyd for 2. It's a nice play by Magbagor as Wilson finishes inside. Magbagor and Stephanie Talbot, a couple more Olympians in this game. They'll both play for Australia in the Olympics. Stewart, extra feed. Bird lines it up, hesitates, can't hit. And the long rebound to Hamby. And a steal. Poke from behind by Katie Lou. Bird the collection, and then the kick from Williams. Going to keep things here with Seattle.
Checking in for the Aces, number 19,
There's Jisoo Park checking in for the Erica Hamby. Jisoo Park did not play in the first half. Bill Lambier has loved the defense from Jisoo Park. Says the offense could be a little touch and go with her confidence, but says everyone has to remember she's just 22 and very talented.
I think that's the big thing. I mean, if she had there, she is almost finishing. If she had gone to college in America, she'd be a rookie this year.
Jisoo Park couldn't quite finish, did get the whistle, and it's going to stay here with Las Vegas.
Ryan, the last time down, there was a switch, and Asia Wilson ended up on Jewel Lloyd. Jewel took her to the basket. We mentioned it. She can get hot quickly, and she scored a couple in a row.
After starting 1 for 9, 2 for her last 2. Here's Young. Too strong, and the rebound to Seattle. Bird pushing pace. Spinning around the screen. Her mid-range is good. The lead up to 9 for Seattle. Storm enter this game with the best record in the WNBA. Williams connects on her 4th triple of the afternoon.
You saw Seattle defense collapsing a little bit with Wilson posting up inside. Gives Raquana Williams the space.
Magbagor thought about it, putting it on the deck. Gets denied by the MVP. Flip back out, 5 to operate. Stewart will heave, can't hit. Rebound Hamby and a chance here for Vegas. Lloyd was down, so a 5-on-4. Hamby gets blocked, but foul. And free throws coming for Erica Hamby.
If you've got a 5-on-4, Ryan, I want the ball in Chelsea Gray's hands, because if there's any kind of a mismatch, she is going to find the open player, and she did there.
We talk about the importance of this game, Rebecca. These two teams went to the finals a year ago. Seattle sweeping Las Vegas. Seattle currently the game-and-a-half lead on Las Vegas. This game will determine who has the tiebreaker between these teams. But, of course, with the playoff format, the top 2 seeds advance to the semifinals, which is a 5-game series. Conference no longer matters. Hasn't for a while. Most of you familiar with that. Getting one of those top 2 seeds so big, and then, of course, wanting the home court in the finals as Stewart buries the 3. 19 now for Breanna Stewart.
That's an area where it's so different from a year ago.
8%.
Look at all the top 3 picks we have in today's game between Seattle and Las Vegas, which leads us into today's Did You Know presented by Google. For today's search, we want to know what player drafted outside the top 3 has scored the most career WNBA points.
Huh.
Do you have an inkling, Rebecca?
I'm going to guess Lindsay Whalen, because she was a number 4 pick and she played a really long time. But I don't know. That's my guess.
All right, that's your guess.
Do you have a guess, Rye? Or do you know the answer?
I know the answer. So I could fake it, but Holly, do you have a guess?
My guess is Candace Dupree. I like to think it's someone in our game and why we would pick that answer. So I'm going Candace Dupree.
All right. We've heard 2 guesses. We won't reveal the answer yet. We'll see who's buying wine next time they're together, Holly or Rebecca, as Plum hits the three. And it's back down to 4. And when Kelsey Plum hits shots, everything changes for Vegas. Bird can't answer. Rebound taken by Young. Motoring. Young's pull-up short. Magbagor draws 2, wide open Bird, will fire again, can't hit. Sue Bird, an outstanding three-point shooter, 46% this season, but 1 for 6 so far today. Cam Beige, the turnaround is smooth.
Great patience, great pace by Cam Beige on that catch.
A 7-0 Vegas run in the last minute and 46 seconds. It's a 2-point game. Timeout, Seattle.
When you're 6'8" and get the ball and can assess the situation. Double coming high, go low.
Well, Holly Rowe is correct. The answer to the Google, did you know what player drafted outside the top 3 has scored the most career WNBA points? Candace Dupree, 4th all-time in WNBA points, was the 6th pick of the 2006 WNBA draft. Holly, congratulations on your victory.
Thank you, and I look forward to the bottle of wine Rebecca will be providing.
Yes. That means I'm buying the wine.
Vegas crowd into it as Prince is fouled, and Epiphany Prince is going to shoot 2.
Epiphany Prince is in the line. She'll shoot 2.
Prince, the veteran, who had a really strong finals last year against Las Vegas for Seattle. Hits 1 for 2 from the line. Here's Cam Beige out of the double. Williams another 3, not that time.
Seattle got lucky there because the defender left Raquana Williams wide open to go double. She's a dangerous one to leave.
Canada ducks inside, can't hit the runner. Williams snatches it. Plum, deep catch, Cam Beige using the size, couldn't finish. And Stewart hauls it down on the weak side, her 9th rebound. Stewart, great lead feed, and how about Russell with the touch?
That was a beautiful finish by Mercedes Russell. Catch with the left on the left side and finish on the other side with the right.
You know, it's interesting because we were talking earlier today with Noelle Quinn, and she said there are things Russell does out on the floor where she really looks like a guard, and this kind of handle certainly fits in that category.
Well, first she busts it down the floor, but you see, catch one hand, move it over to the other. High degree of difficulty.
Not a lot of 6'6" centers who can pull that off.
No.
Well, Mercedes Russell is a fantastic story. She got back from playing overseas in Turkey late this season. So she comes back. She had 2 days at home and then rejoined the team. And not within 10 days from getting back from Turkey, she's in the starting lineup. She said, you know, it was a bit of a shock to me, but I was ready for it, as we see Asia Wilson with a nice finish. She said, I started all of those games when Breanna Stewart and Sue Bird were out 2 years ago, so I'm very comfortable in this starting role, and we're seeing it from Mercedes Russell.
She's fit in perfectly with this starting unit. She has developed and grown every season with Seattle. Little trouble with the spacing there. Stewart hits the 3 anyway. 22 now for Breanna Stewart. Plum trying to answer, no. Hamby keeps it alive. Another chance here for Vegas. Good pressure from Prince. Wilson, step back. Too strong. 10th rebound for Stewart to go with 22 points. A 6-point Seattle lead. Vegas had cut it to 2 moments ago. Russell working her way in for the strong finish.
She has just been solid. She has been playing really good basketball on both ends, and what a move by Kelsey Plum.
Wow, what a finish from Plum, and a chance for 3.
You get a big player switched on you, and you know she's a shot blocker. You fake and go under. Beautifully done. Gotcha.
Taking a look at the upcoming WNBA national TV schedule. Tuesday, 7 Eastern on ESPN2, Connecticut and Washington. Wednesday on CBS Sportsnet. Chicago faces Dallas, then Minnesota and Phoenix. For more on these games, please go to WNBA.com or visit the WNBA app. 2-for-1 opportunity for Seattle if they hurried. That chance gone. Here comes Prince. Through the left side of the lane. Prince couldn't flip it in. Russell is there for the follow. 8 points, 8 rebounds now for Mercedes Russell. Shot clock is turned off. Plum cuts through, can't finish. Squirts out to Talbot. Her flick is off the mark. And that'll do it for the third. Seattle, a 7-point lead after 3.
She's not just a defender, Mercedes Russell. She can score as well. Pretty left.
Welcome back to ESPN and the WNBA presented by Google. Here with Asia Wilson of the Aces. And Asia, this team's had a tough 48 hours, a late flight, an overtime game. Where do you find the energy to come back in this fourth quarter?
That just comes from within. Like, we shouldn't have to get up for the defending champs. Like, that just comes from within, and we got to find a way. I know I got to find a way, but we're figuring it out as we go at this point.
You and Liz have to be a little more dominant in the paint, rebounding as well. Where does that happen?
The same thing. You just got to want it. Like, you can't teach people exactly how to rebound. That just comes from heart. We just got to keep going after it. We know the shot's going up, but we just got to keep attacking. We can't let up.
Thank you, Asia.
Yep.
The first play out of the quarter break. Vegas, no surprise, goes right into Liz Cambage, who draws the foul. They need to get her touches when she's on the floor. Nice shot by Plum.
5 points, Seattle lead. Third and final meeting of the regular season between these two teams. Winner will have the tiebreaker. It's a wonderful story, Holly. We're all looking forward to seeing her at the Olympics. Canada gives it back. Stewart can't finish. Here comes Gray, the crossover. Motoring in, flicked it out. Plum a 3 is good to give the Aces the lead. First lead for Las Vegas since it was a 10-8 game. Katie Lou can't hit. Rebound Plum. Gray, the leaner, rims off. Had a good look there. Seattle trying to respond. Bird, the flick ahead. Canada, the fake, and the finish.
Great job by Canada. Just gets the defender leaning back and able to explode by.
Vegas 7 of 8 from the floor in the quarter. Hamby, no. Stewart, the rebound, her 11th. Lloyd out of the game. Canada in for Seattle. Shot clock down to 5. Stewart through traffic, still flips it in.
Her two-man game with Sue Bird is so good.
A 3-point game with 4:21 to go in the fourth. Let's enter the zone and take a look at who's hot, brought to you by DoorDash.
Well, that's been Breanna Stewart all game long. Defensively, blocking shots, making things difficult. On the offensive end, she's been terrific, in particular from 3, where she's 4 for 8, 29 points on the day. I mean, just an impressive performance by Breanna Stewart.
Rebecca, what do you think about Jewel Lloyd on the bench right now? Canada on the floor for Seattle.
Yeah, I was surprised when that lineup was put out there, and my first instinct was that it was to combat the quickness of Kelsey Plum, and Jewel Lloyd struggled a bit today at only shooting 3 for 12, but still surprised with this much time left in the game that she's not in. It's working though, Rye.
Mm-hmm. Here's Gray trying to shake Lou Samuelson. Oh, the denial from Stewart as Hamby got rejected, and 6 to shoot here for the Aces.
It's a beautiful pass, but wow, Breanna Stewart's length.
6 to shoot. Seattle leads by 3. 4:06 to go in the fourth. Hamby on the drive, couldn't lay it in, and Samuelson the rebound. Here comes Bird to the corner. Stewart, no. Rebound, Canada keeping it alive for Seattle. Back into the arms of Sue Bird. Canada the flip. What a touch pass from Stewart, but a foul before the bucket after a gorgeous feed from Breanna Stewart to Magbagor. And now Mercedes Russell will come and spell Magbagor.
And you know, Ryan, Noel Quinn's been doing that all game. When Cambage comes out often, that's when she takes Mercedes Russell out, so she will have the legs to be able to fight with her here down the stretch.
Bird flicks it over to Canada. 6 to shoot. Canada jumper, no. Rebound, Wilson. 3-point Seattle lead. 3 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in the fourth. Gray tried the pocket pass, nearly threw it away. Under 3 to shoot. Young forces it up and in. 1-point game. Lloyd getting ready to check back in for Seattle. Katie Lou Samuelson tried to force the pass. It ends up with Russell, who lays it in. Fortuitous bounce for Seattle.
And great patience by Russell. Head fake, dribble, finish.
Russell, 10 points, 9 rebounds. Lead back to 3 for the Storm. Wilson got fouled by Stewart, and Asia Wilson is going to shoot 2. Timeout on the floor, 2:28 to go. In the fourth quarter, a 1-possession game and a big bucket from Mercedes Russell. Wimbledon begins tomorrow with 10.5 hours of coverage. First at 6 a.m. Eastern on ESPN and continuing on ESPN2 at 11:30. Monday's first round coverage features gentlemen's top seed Novak Djokovic and American Madison Keys. All matches are also available on the ESPN app. Asia Wilson at the line to shoot 2, hits the first. Seattle 80, Las Vegas 78, 2:28 to go in the fourth quarter. Third and final meeting of the regular season between these two teams. Winner of this game will have the tiebreaker, taking the season series. Jewel Lloyd back in for Seattle. Stewart thought about the three, didn't take it. Bird back to Stewart. Nice find, but Russell couldn't handle. And Seattle turns it over. Just the second turnover of the second half for the Storm.
Mercedes Russell, I think, was looking to get into box out position already to get the offensive board, because that was a beautifully delivered pass by Stewart.
Vegas briefly took its first lead since 10-8 a few moments ago. Seattle struck back. Wilson, deep catch, the turn, the block by Stewart. Wilson persisting and gets fouled by Stewart. Asia Wilson back to the line for two more free throws.
Persisting is the right word when it comes to Asia Wilson. She keeps going back up and back up. Finally gets the call on the second block.
Asia Wilson, 2 shots.
Wilson, an outstanding free throw shooter, ties this game at 80. Each team in the bonus, each team with 2 timeouts remaining. Vegas back in front by 1. Here is Lloyd. Her jumper is good. Seattle takes a 1-point lead.
After a stretch late in the game on the bench for a few minutes, Jewel Lloyd back in, gets a touch and launches.
Here is Plum being chased. Gives it up, 7 to shoot. Gray seeking an angle. Gray connects. Vegas back in front by 1. What a finish. Lloyd weaving, taking, can't hit. And a foul here is going to go against Russell. Seattle over the limit, and Cambage will go to the line for her first free throws of the day.
Chelsea Gray, big and strong, and has that slight fade on her shot. We've seen her hit so many big shots through the course of her career.
Seattle is in the penalty.
Cambage, 76% from the line this season, 76% in her career. And misses the first. Cambage goes 1 for 2. Timeout, Seattle. The Aces, a 2-point lead. 1:07 to go in the fourth. Our WNBA coverage continues Tuesday night. Should be a fun game. The Connecticut Sun in Washington to face Tina Charles and the Mystics at 7 Eastern on ESPN2. The game also available on the ESPN app. Ryan Rucco, the Hall of Famer Rebecca Lobo, Holly Rowe with you. Las Vegas Aces an 84-82 lead over the Seattle Storm. Storm enter this game a game and a half on top of Vegas for the best record in the WNBA. Seattle coming out of a timeout. They have 1 remaining. They have the basketball. Vegas with 2 timeouts remaining, each team in the bonus. Rebecca, what's the focus offensively here for Seattle down 2?
You want to get Brianna Stewart involved somehow. The pick and roll game with Sue Bird, or the screen and rescreen, has been really good. Of course, Jewel Lloyd is dangerous as well, but the way Brianna Stewart is playing, you'd like to see her involved.
5 lead changes in the last 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Exactly the matchup you expected from these two outstanding teams. Here is Bird around the Stewart screen, looking to her. Settles for Russell. Back to Bird. Gorgeous feed inside. Stewart finishes, and this game is tied at 84.
Clear out the left side of the floor and let Brianna Stewart and Sue Bird do their thing.
31 points for Brianna Stewart. 84 all. Vegas could have a 2-for-1 here, taking their time. Here is Plum. Guarded by Lloyd. Into Wilson. Wilson burrows in. Can't finish. Loose ball. Seattle has it. And Sue Bird wants a timeout.
Seattle cleared out the left side of the floor for Brianna Stewart and Sue Bird. Didn't get it initially. Went to Mercedes Russell back. Pick and roll. Beautifully executed. And Brianna Stewart finishes. Both defenders coming at Sue Bird. That's a really difficult pass to deliver because Sue Bird had two bigs on her that she had to throw the ball over.
Right, so Stewie, you're here. Mercedes, you're here. Boom, boom, right? Listen, you get it, and then you go through, right? Mercedes, now you said it, okay?
Hey, Noel Quinn drawing up the play.
Get a rebound, it's a timeout. If they score, it's a timeout.
Bill Lambier reminding his team to take a timeout here. Both coaches mic'd up, 27.7 to go. Slight differential game and shot clock, tied at 84. Here is Lloyd. Waiting for Bird, gets it to her. Guarded by Young, aggressively. Bird waiting. Taking her time. Under 10 to shoot. Here comes Stewart. Bird goes away from Stewart, now back to her. Stewart on the attack, one to shoot, fading, no, rebound out of bounds. Looked like it last hit Cambage. They will take a look to see whose basketball it is with 1.7 to go in the fourth quarter of a tie game.
Ryan, what was the call on the floor?
You know what, Rebecca? I'm not sure what the call on the floor was. It looked like the officials immediately signaled for a review, but I'm not sure if they signaled whether or not it was someone's possession.
On-court ruling, we have Seattle basketball pending review.
Okay, there you go.
So now it has to be clear.
lets us know.
It has to be clear and conclusive. And one of the interesting things, Ryan, when you go to the monitor now, Seattle, they were out of timeouts. Now they get to draw up a play if it is their basketball. A timeout they wouldn't have had.
Excellent point, Rebecca. And it looks like, just on those first two angles, there would be nothing conclusive to give the ball back to Vegas. I expect this to be Seattle basketball.
That's why the call on the floor is so important, because I don't think you could reverse it either way.
Rebecca just setting up this final play, assuming it is Seattle basketball. You have 1.7, maybe a little more time, depending on if they adjust the clock. What are you thinking offensively here for the Storm?
Well, you would think that they would go to Brianna Stewart, except that Jewel Lloyd has hit 2 game-winning buzzer beaters in her career. So you have some good options. And 1.7 is a good amount of time. You can catch and shoot. You could probably catch and get a quick dribble and shot off as well.
Roy Gobeyam, Tony Patillo, Kevin Fahey, our officials. They're still taking a look at that out-of-bounds call. A reminder, the ruling is off of Las Vegas, and that it is Seattle basketball. You need clear confirmation that it is off Seattle in order to overturn this call. Now, the other thing they have to check here, which always creates a little time as well, Rebecca, is the clock and what it should be at. So even if it's Seattle ball, you may get a little more time on the clock.
And now they're figuring out where they're going for dinner after the game.
Now, a reminder, if for some reason this is overturned and is Vegas ball, they have timeouts remaining and can advance the basketball.
Yes.
It's a long conversation in an incredibly long review.
After video review, the call on the floor is confirmed. 1.8 seconds on the clock. It's Seattle basketball.
1.8 on the clock. It's Seattle basketball. Tie game. Bird will inbound. And now Las Vegas is going to take a timeout and set up their defense.
This will be a full timeout.
Set it. You're not going to change it. Game it for me. Yeah, it's just a boom, boom, slip. Yeah.
You want her going corner, or do you want her to follow?
Well, you could hear Noel Quinn say, hey, we're not going to change it, referring to the play after the timeout from Bill Laimbeer.
Ryan, in late game situations, what players want more than anything out of their coach is confidence. And right there you saw confident Noel Quinn.
84-84, 1.8 to go in this fourth quarter. Bird will inbound. Stewart, Samuelson, Russell, Lloyd, the other members of the Storm on the floor. Tie game, a chance to win it here for the Storm. Bird looking in. Finds Stewart, stolen by Cambage, knocked out of bounds, and there may be some time left on the clock here for Seattle. Bird tried to get it into Stewart, couldn't quite find the angle. Cambage was able to knock it out of bounds. Should be a little time left on the clock. And we'll see how much, Rebecca. Maybe somewhere around 0.5.
It'll be more than
0.3. Yeah, be enough time to catch and shoot.
But you saw Brianna Stewart set the screen and then slip, which is what we heard Noel Quinn talk about drawing up. Now, as long as it's 0.3 or more, there is time to catch and shoot. It does not need to be a tip.
You see them reviewing the timing. As long as there's 0.3, can catch and shoot. You have to move quickly, but it can be done.
We've seen Jewel Lloyd do it a season ago against Los Angeles from the corner.
It's Seattle basketball, 5/10 on the game clock.
All right. 5/10 of a second on the shot clock. Bird will inbound. Seattle will have one more shot here to try and avoid overtime and win it in regulation. Bird to trigger in. Tie game. The lob, Stewart the touch, no. And we have overtime. 84 all, and overtime coming in Las Vegas.
Couple screens for Brianna Stewart. De'Erica Hamby, a nice job not fouling, being right there. Catch. She just didn't catch it cleanly. We get 5 extra minutes, Ryan.
Hey, why not? It's the last regular season meeting between these teams. They split the first 2 matchups. They met in the finals a season ago. Might as well get 5 extra minutes. Only 3 points separated these teams over the last 6.5 minutes of the fourth quarter.
One thing to note, Seattle has gone 11 players deep. Vegas only 7, with Jisoo Park being the 8th, but she's only gotten 1 minute.
Second straight overtime game for the Aces. Thinking about that as you talk about a short rotation, Rebecca. Asia Wilson, 35 minutes. Jackie Young, 35 minutes. Sue Bird with 30 minutes played. Brianna Stewart with 33. This also a Commissioner's Cup game. Seattle currently leading the West when it comes to Commissioner's Cup record.
Aces fans, you got anything left? I think you got a lot more than that.
Cambage and Stewart will jump it up. 5 more minutes between the Aces and the Storm. Here we go. And Las Vegas wins the tip. Here's Wilson. That's going to be an offensive foul. Cambage called for the offensive foul, and the Aces turn it over on their opening possession.
Vegas trying to get Asia Wilson the basketball at the free throw line to start the game, or to start the overtime, and Cambage just still moving on the curl.
Here is Lloyd through the lane. Couldn't lay it in over Cambage, and a foul is going to go against, I believe, Lloyd.
That was on Seattle's number 2, Mercedes Russell.
Make it Russell. Second personal against Mercedes Russell. Plum joins 4 starters for Vegas. Raquana Williams, the lone starter who's on the bench. Cambage motoring through, just missed the layup. Here's Bird directing traffic. Into the corner for Lloyd. 84 all. Lloyd. Back out to Bird. Nice find to Stewart, who puts it in.
Why not finish every one of your sets with an on-ball screen with Brianna Stewart and Sue Bird? Good things have happened in that action all game long.
33 now for Stewart. Young can't answer. Katie Lou Samuelson, her 6th rebound. Holly talked about the importance of the glass earlier. Seattle a +10. Stewart gives it up to Bird. Bird will try. Doesn't get the roll from 3. She's now 1 for 7 from downtown. Cambage, deep catch. Foul on the floor against Stewart. Will be her 4th and a side out of bounds for Las Vegas.
Brianna Stewart, her 4th personal foul. Seattle's 2nd team foul.
Gray, double, backs out of it. Gray, back to Wilson. She got it. On a mid-range J, 20 points for Wilson.
That possession, Wilson left wide open at the free throw line.
Under 3 minutes to go in overtime. Tied at 86. Lloyd gives it back to Bird. Russell from 17 can't hit. Wilson the rebound. Here's Gray pedaling into the paint, fading away. Doesn't get the roll. Had a great look there. Now Lloyd. Stewart directing traffic, working with Bird. Stewart, jab step jumper is short. Wilson double, looking for help. Now one-on-one with Stewart. Her jumper sidewinds off. And another chance here for Seattle. Under 2 minutes to go, tie. Lloyd, and Russell was grabbed by Jackie Young.
Both teams a little bit tired. I think welcoming that whistle. They catch a break, catch a blow.
Seattle has a foul to give. Vegas does not. Hamby into the game for Las Vegas. Cambage goes out. Here's Lloyd. Tied at 86 in overtime. Lloyd fading away, connects on the jumper to put Seattle in front. Gray working around Katie Lou Samuelson, and a foul is called. Side out of bounds for Vegas.
Teams looking tired in the overtime. Jewel Lloyd, though, on this jumper has legs. Maybe those minutes near the end of the fourth quarter when she was on the bench, Ryan, are helpful now.
She did get some extended rest in that fourth with Jordan Canada on the floor. 1:33 to go in overtime. Seattle a 2-point lead. Cambage back in for Las Vegas. Here's Plum. Had some big shots down the stretch. Guarded by Stewart. Plum wrapping around, lays it in, tied again. Stewart on the cut. Bounces inside. Russell couldn't finish, but a whistle. A late whistle against Las Vegas. Looked like the correct call to the initial eye, but just came in late.
Yeah, late whistle, but right call. She gets hit right on the elbow. I mean, without question, that was a foul. Just wonder why the whistle came late, but I mean, no question that that's a foul.
So now Russell, 2 free throws, 62% in her career, makes the first.
Louder, please.
Big challenge for Mercedes Russell, who's answered the bell against Las Vegas's talented front court today. Hits both. Seattle back up by 2. Under 1 minute to go in overtime. Cambage, great feed, cross court. Plum the leaner, no. Rebound off the hand of Cambage, out of bounds to Seattle.
Such a tough delivery for Liz Cambage to see Plum in the corner, but she delivered to her. They got a great shot.
Now is when you need to get louder on defense.
2-for-1 opportunity here for Seattle. Lloyd around the screen from Russell. Lloyd tried to force it back to Russell and turned it over. Here comes Las Vegas. Down 2, Gray into the lane, lays it in, plus the foul. Chelsea Gray ties it, and a chance to take the lead at the line.
We have seen so many times in the career of Chelsea Gray, her making big shots, and she is so good in transition, gets there and gets the and one.
Gray completes the three-point play and gives Vegas a 1-point lead. Time out, Seattle.
Chelsea Gray is a 5'11" guard, and she's big and strong, and Jewel Lloyd there. You either got to take the foul early or let her go, and Chelsea Gray feeling it, putting her team up by 1.
And Holly, it has been a wild last 48 hours for the Aces.
That's right, Ryan. They traveled to Minnesota for a very hard-fought game, but their plane was delayed, sat on the tarmac for over an hour, a 3-hour delay total. They got in at midnight. Then they play a very physical overtime game against the Lynx and lose. They have to get up the next morning at 5:15 a.m. for COVID testing, get back here, and now this again. They are fighting through fatigue, and you can see it, but boy, they're mentally tough right now in this situation.
No question, Holly. Leading by 1. Rebecca, Seattle basketball here with 26.4 to go.
To me, it's simple. You get two-man action again that involves Sue Bird and Brianna Stewart.
Here is Bird. Bounces over to Lloyd. Stewart fighting, wanted it. And a whistle is going to go against Cam Beige, I believe. Vegas is over the limit, so free throws for Stewart.
Yeah, Stewart was battling, trying to post up, and Cam Beige has that left arm over Stewart's shoulder.
Massive free throws here. Stewart ties it with the first. Brianna Stewart, 81% on the season, 82% in her career. She gets the second to drop in. Seattle back in front by 1. 21.4 to go in overtime of this outstanding game between the teams with the top 2 records in the WNBA.
In these late game situations, Bill Lambier likes to get Liz Cambage on the block, but ultimately they want to get Asia Wilson the basketball at the free throw line area, let her go to work, particularly if you can clear out the left side of the floor.
Try to trap. Get it in at 1, get it up here. Plum. Jackie, get Plum. Plum, come all the way around, hit Asia. Asia, come up in a mid pick and roll. Plum, go to that corner for a spot up. All right, Jackie, slide up. All right, you got Liz going for an offensive rebound. Does that work for you?
Yep, that's fine.
You got it.
Hey, crash the board. Crash the board.
No offensive foul, Plum. We are. We'll take it over here.
Let's just switch it. We haven't done it all game. We haven't done it all game. Thumbs up.
You hear the offensive and then the defensive strategy here, Rebecca, setting up these tense moments.
Yeah, interesting. Seattle, Noelle Quinn saying we haven't switched that action all game, but we're going to switch it here.
21.4 to go in overtime. Vegas basketball, Seattle leads by 1. Here is Gray. There comes the high screen from Wilson. Gray one-on-one with Stewart. Connects on the jumper with 10.6 to go. Chelsea Gray puts Vegas in front by 1. Timeout, Seattle.
Bill Lambier told us earlier today, Chelsea Gray has hit a lot of big shots in her career. Lots of confidence. Getting the ball in her hands. Stewart right there, but Gray still able to drain it. What a tough shot.
We heard Bill Lambier say to Chelsea Gray, does that work for you? Drawing up the final play, Gray said, yep, sure did. A season high 21 points for Chelsea Gray. Vegas in front by 1, but Rebecca, Another chance here now for Seattle. They spend their final timeout to advance the basketball with 10.6 to go.
Again, you like the ball in Brianna Stewart's hands. You like the ball in Jewel Lloyd's hands. Lloyd has not shot great today, only 5 of 16, but she comes through in these moments.
Meanwhile, Stewart with 35 points on 14 of 26 shooting. Seattle out of timeouts. Each team in the bonus. Aces with 1 timeout remaining. Storm basketball trailing by 1. Here is Bird. 6 seconds left. Bird around the screen will fire. No! Rebound Vegas. Fouled by Stewart with 0.7 to go. And that should just about do it for the Aces. Bird just 1 for 8 from 3 today. One of the best three-point shooters in the league. Wilson now at the line. Hits the first to make it a 2-point game. Seattle out of timeouts, so they will need a heave. Wilson hits the second. 3-point Aces lead. Stewart gets it in, Lloyd chucks it up, and that will do it. The Aces outlast the Storm in overtime. 95-92 the final. And Las Vegas takes the season series against the defending champion Seattle Storm.